Hey y'all, this is Stretch Slay coming at y'all with another video, and before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Now today, y'all, we're getting into the I Know What You Did Last Summer requel, and I'll start off by saying this. This will be a spoiler review, so brace yourself. If you don't want to get spoiled and haven't seen the film yet, click off this video right now and go watch the spoiler-free review because y'all, I'm about to get into it. Now, although it wasn't what I expected in the least, I did not expect this outcome, and I'm very salty at the moment because I was looking forward to this film all year. I really was. Like, as you could tell from my channel, like, I'm a big fan of the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise. Now, although I had some issues with this film, I did enjoy some parts of the film. Like, okay, in the beginning, I liked the dynamic with the friend group. We're introduced to the lead character, Ava, Danica. I would say they're like the main two characters in this film. It's a different factor that I liked about this film was it was two main characters instead of like usually a solo final boy or final girl character like in the previous films. That was a nice touch. Instead of Julie was the main focus, it was Ava and Danica in this film. So I did enjoy that aspect. And we're introduced to Teddy, Milo, and Stevie. So that makes the group of 5 friends, you know. So obviously the film, you know, starts out with the friends at Danica and Teddy's engagement party since they were engaged. And things get awkward after the engagement party when they see Stevie, because apparently I guess Stevie went to rehab and everything since they kind of disowned Stevie after some beef with their families. And they just fell out really bad, and I guess they wanted to bury the hatchet and invite Stevie to go see the fireworks like they usually do on Reaper's Road, that they love to call it. So they're still in Southport, North Carolina, which is, you know, the main setting from the first film. And, you know, they drive on a road, and I would say I like how this accident is different from the first film. Like, they do a mini fake out in the beginning thinking like it's gonna go the same as them hitting someone who was physically walking on the road, but Teddy just scared Danica, who was driving, and there was no one there luckily. But then they get out in park, and he's like the Barry type character, I would say next gen Barry type character. Tyreek Withers did a very phenomenal job with this specific character that was crafted for him. I think he did bring Teddy to life and embrace that, you know, dumb jock mentality. You know, once they get some liquor in their system, they don't know how to act. So he was bullshitting in the middle of the damn road, and then a pickup unfortunately swerves off, and it didn't go down fully the first time. And the thing I liked about this dynamic of this friend group, they did try to help the driver out of the car. So that was one thing I noticed, that they didn't really do that in the first film. It was more circumstantial in the first, in terms of like they really could have got blamed and charged with more severe penalties than in this revival that we've seen. Because at least they did try to help the person out of the car, who will soon be revealed as the boyfriend of one of the friends that we didn't even know about, which was Stevie's man. So I'm just gonna go straight into, you know, spoiler territory. So Stevie is, you know, revealed to be one of the fishermen, which I kind of call because I'm familiar with Sarah Pigeon from The Wilds, and I know she could bring that great psychological twist to her characters that she plays. So I already called it that she was definitely going to be one of the killers. And my issues with the film is, I would say it was a bit slow pace in the middle of the film. Like, compared to 1, it was just like a non-stop thriller ride after they hit Ben and tried to cover it up, and then we seen how they were each dealing with that burden of carrying that secret with them throughout the film. It just seems that this friend group isn't really like tight-knit like I was expecting them to be. One of my favorite characters was this podcaster named Tyler, who I thought she was like gonna be like Danica's little sister or something. So I noticed they switched that up. Like, Danica's obviously like the Helen type character, which is played by Madeline Klein, and she did a great job bringing Danica to life as well. And obviously she was siblingless, which was a surprise to me because I was expecting her to at least have a sister. And I thought Tyler was gonna be her sister, but Tyler was just this random hookup that Ava decided to hook up because her and Milo broke up after the accident, since to me they're like the next gen Ray and Julie. Yeah, didn't really give that at all. So Tyler, she has this like horror podcast, true crime podcast, that she goes to investigate true crimes, and obviously she's investigating the 1997 Southport massacre that happened with Julie, Ray, Barry, and Helen. So she decides to hitch a ride with Ava. She comes back into town for Danica's new engagement party, and obviously she's not engaged to Teddy no more. She's engaged to some random named Wyatt, which I thought in the trailer was Milo. I'm sorry, they look so similar to me, so I was caught off guard with that. I had to like take a double take, like, oh my gosh, they literally look like twins a little bit. So yeah, that definitely caught me off guard. So poor Wyatt, he was just caught in a misfire. So we already seen what happened to him. And some of the kills were good. I would say like 2 kills really stood out to me, which was like Wyatt's kill and the mayor's kill, which was Teddy's father. I would say the chase scenes didn't really deliver like the original did, because obviously nothing's gonna be first. I Know What You Did Last Summer films. Like, I didn't really get that shock factor that I was expecting, and I wasn't really like scared throughout the film. Like, the suspense was hit or miss in certain points, and I would say that was due to the pacing. And overall, the storyline definitely needed much more improvement before this was released. I truly believe that, because once we gear towards like the middle to the end, we're reintroduced back to Julie and Ray, and obviously they're pulling like a Scream 5 move with bringing the OGs back. They weren't together. Like, they were happily engaged, and at the end of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, because he did all that fighting. Y'all just bear with me. Oh my gosh, I'm so pissed off. Gosh. So they're divorced, and it's just, I feel like whoever wrote this just didn't really understand the genuine bond that Julie and Ray had with one another, because it's like I was watching 2 completely different characters. Like, Ray did a complete switcheroo. Like, when Ava asked him about Julie, wait, you were married to the Julie James? And then he was like, yeah, unfortunately. I was like, wait, hold up. Unfortunately, I was like, where did all this like harshness and cold ass shoulder come from? I'm like, you were madly in love with Julie James, sir. Like, you literally got hit by a car, left for dead, fled the hospital bed, pawned your engagement ring, bought a gun, stole a boat, and then went to the Bahamas to go save your ex-wife. So what's so unfortunate about that? And y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but doesn't that show how dedicated you are in terms of proving that you love a person? Especially in the circumstances that y'all both endured with one another. I don't know, that was just a complete character arc that I did not like about this film at all. It was like so horribly executed, and I like Julie's direction in a sense, like, because obviously she's like, to me, her and Sydney are in the like same place in terms of mindsets, like dealing with their trauma and trying to move on with their past. But with this film, I noticed they tried to do a whole mental health aspect with the second killer, and y'all brace yourself. The damn second killer of this film is Daddy Ray. I'm like, what in your right mind made you write that? Oh my God. I don't know whose bright idea was that, but that was one of the worst decisions ever to make Ray the second fisherman. Because Stevie's motive made sense, like she felt neglected from her friendships and they just tossed her aside, and she found solace in Sam, who was the victim of the accident, who was her boyfriend at the time. He was on his way to her, and she didn't know it was him until his body washed ashore. So she said, instead of feeling miserable and want to take her own life, why not just take all of her friends' lives? I was like, okay, we love a consistent queen. So I didn't have no issue with her deranged motive, because it makes sense for her deranged way of thinking. But making Ray her accomplice was just in poor taste. It just completely undermined his character development, and I'm gonna need for future films of especially my favorite slasher franchises. Oh my gosh, with the storyline, please value the storyline more, and when you bring back the legacy characters, at least take them out in a memorable way in terms of something that fits their character. Don't just completely do a switcheroo and completely undermine all the good they did in the past film. Like, making Ray the Killer Lily just erased all the good he did in the past two films, like saving Julie's life, saving her life again, and Carla's. Like, it just, I don't know. It was so illogical. And then him saying he wanted to make them remember, like, I'm pretty sure after all those years you had time to go to therapy, sir. So, you know, there was just no excuse for him turning out the way he did. It was just so illogical and not in his character, like, to do that. That's like making Dewey the killer, which makes no total sense at all. Like, that's what really pissed me off about this. Like, I cannot. I'm still processing that, because I'm like, did they really just do that? I was really hoping it was a fever dream. And we also get this random nightmare sequence with Sarah Michelle Gellar coming back as Helen, which I appreciated as a Helen fan. I like how it was like motivated Danica to, you know, fight and don't end up like her. So that was a nice touch that I liked about this film. So overall, although I enjoyed some aspects of this film, I just wish that the ending wasn't the one that we got, you know. I just wish the ending was done completely differently. Like, it was a great build-up throughout the watch. Like, I enjoyed the chemistry within the new cast. They did have chemistry, but certain moments, it was just totally illogical in how some of the characters reacted. And some of the kills could have been a bit more intense, especially, like, Milo's death was intense. And I just felt like Tyler's death, it was very underwhelming. Like, I expected a little bit more chase scenes too. Like, the chase scenes weren't really giving. Speaking of really giving, I will say that they did give the new gen, which is, I'm pretty sure they're trying to appeal to the younger Gen Z / Alpha fan base, since the dialogue is more focused on jokes and lingo that age bracket uses. There's a lot of people confuse Gen Z dialogue with older Gen Z. So there's like different lingo within the older Gen Zs and the younger Gen Zs and Alphas. Like, I need people to understand that. And I will say they did get that right on the head with making sure certain lines were understood by certain demographics. I would just say that. And what I really enjoyed was the mid-credit scene, and if y'all didn't stay to the mid-credit scene, y'all, that probably could have redeemed if you enjoyed this film or not, because we see Carlo watching the news coverage of what just happened at Ray's bar and how he was revealed to be the fisherman and how Stevie got away and everything. So, and just some of Carla's lines, it was just giving, like I said again earlier in my video, they didn't really watch the previous films because some of the lines just didn't sound like something Carla would say, like, because obviously after all the hell they went through together and I still know what you did last summer, she'd be like, oh, like, why someone always trying to kill that woman? I'm like, that woman, you mean your girl, you know, your best friend? Like, it was just like, and I don't know. I didn't understand how she was written. And Julie then came and knocked on the door and they hugged and she was like, oh my gosh, Julie, what's going on? How are you? She was like, I'm glad you're, you know, still here. She was like, damn, Ray. I was like, right, like, I'm still not over that making Daddy Ray one of the damn killers. That just doesn't make no damn sense to me. Like, y'all could just took him out like Dewey. Like, at least Dewey went out fighting, which will make sense, especially that's in tone with Generation X. They were the generation that fought like hell to get where they are and have some peace in their lives. Like, it was just so illogical. I'm like, okay. Julie then shows Carla a photo of her and Carla before they went to the Bahamas, and Carla's side of the photo was X'd out. And then she turned it over and it's written, it isn't over. So I'm like, okay, now who the hell else is lurking in the shadows that's gonna be the killer? Because it don't really make sense for Stevie to come after them because she was already targeted her friend group. And majority of them bopped. So I don't know how that's gonna digest. And Ava harpooned Ray through the chest, so ain't no telling if he's still alive, but I'm like, I'm definitely not a fan of him being a killer, that's for sure. Like, that really pissed me off. It just, ugh. And then Carl was like, okay, so who we fucking up this time? And then the movie ends. So overall, my rankings for this whole franchise is obviously number one, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. That's gonna always be my favorite. Like I said, because I love the casting, the storytelling, and the setting of the Bahamas. It just gave a secluded feel and trying to escape the madness that consumed them. That was very well thought out. And then number two, the first I Know What You Did Last Summer, 1997. That was perfect. The chemistry with the cast was top tier. The suspense, the score was amazing. Like, and nothing's topping Helen Chasing. Like, that was just chef's kiss. And then obviously number three on the list would be I Know What You Did Last Summer, 2025. Like I said, I enjoyed the next gen aspect and then finally creating Gen Z accurate characters to carry on a legacy instead of having the OG legacy characters carry the weight of the franchises and just let the children take over, because you could just reference them. You didn't have to like bring them into the mix just to tarnish their legacies that they already established. It just doesn't make any sense at all. So that's number three on my list. And obviously number four would be, oh my gosh, that I Know What You Did Last Summer Amazon TV show, the ugly cousin of the franchise. That I'm not mentioning that anymore. Like I said in my previous video, I would say the only thing I loved about TV show was the cast. That was pretty much it. And then the bottom of the list is obviously the straight to DVD, I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, for obvious reasons, because just the character development in there and the storyline could have been way better as well. So y'all let me know y'all thoughts and opinions down in the comment section. Like, did y'all enjoy the new I Know What You Did Last Summer? And are y'all looking forward to the next one? Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a next one, given Ava and Danica, and I'm sure even Danica survived the final act. They were talking about, oh yeah, and by the way, Stevie's alive. It was just so unrealistically casual how she just delivered that, and they're like, oh yeah, so we're probably gonna have to kill her, and then Ava's like, oh yeah. I'm like, y'all don't take nothing serious. So, yeah, that's my thoughts and opinions on this new film. And like I said, storyline is vital to the survival of a franchise, and you cannot tarnish the legacies that the original characters have already built and just bring them in just to do a complete 180 on their character development. It just makes no sense. So I'm just at a loss for words right now. So I'm Treacherous Slayer, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.